Hello trader. If you are struggling from emotion in your trading, then this is the exact right video for you. In this video, I'm gonna explain what kind of emotion we experience as a trader and what are the root causes of these emotions, and in fact how you can overcome those emotions. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you a technique, an exercise that you can do to overcome emotion in your trading.
Hi, Hero. We just wanted to check in and see how you're doing.
I wish you were here, buddy. Hero, if I could have only one superpower right now, it would be the ability to crawl through this camera and give you a big hug.
Before I begin this very important video, make sure guys you give a big thumbs up, smash the like button, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. This is Forex Wizard from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. With that being said, let's get started. Okay guys, probably you know that there are mainly two kinds of emotions that every trader experiences, is emotion of fear and emotion of greed. Now how does they in fact reflect in our trading? First let me tell you, let's say when we close a trade early before reaching its full potential is due to emotion of fear. The reason is, as you know, the trade never moves in one direction. So when we had multiple losses in the past and then we open another trade, and once we see that the price has gone to certain profit and then coming back again, we fear that we could lose that money as well, and then we close the trade before it is reaching its potential. So that's an emotion of fear. And the other emotion, that emotion of greed, is when we take a bigger risk in a single trade. We feel like, okay, I want to make all those losses from this particular trade, and then we place a big lot size, then we should be, that's due to the emotion of greed. Now every human, every trader in fact experience those emotions, and even the experienced pro trader including myself, we experience the same kind of emotions. But those who knows how to manage with proper technique, it becomes much easier to overcome, to control those emotions. Now before we find out how you can overcome those emotions, first let me explain in fact what are the reason behind this emotion and why this emotion in fact is being generated. And as you know that our midbrain, the amygdala, is the brain that generates all kinds of emotion. Now the life that we are living may be 20, 30, 40 or 50 years or 60 years older, but the emotions that being generated in our brain is from millions of years. Our midbrain cannot understand any kind of verbal language. It understands only the language of emotion. If you look back in the past, as you know that all the information that we have in our brain is from millions of years. And our ancestors used to live in cave, in jungles for ages, millions of years, and they needed to protect themselves from all kinds of threat, all kind of animals and any kind of threat that's coming on their way. And to protect ourselves from all kinds of threat, the brain uses this emotion to trigger a response called fight or flight mode. Now the language of this emotion is either fight or flight. So when we see a threat, our brain generates fear so that we can fight or flight. Then how does this impact in our trading? Now the reason the same kinds of emotion is being generated in trading is because of the meaning we give behind trading. As you know that everyone, we want to be successful as a trader, right? And we put a meaning behind our trading that once I will be winning a couple of trades, I will be successful, and that's the success. But once the trade is going in wrong direction, let's say one couple of trades is losing, the brain put a meaning behind it, a threat to our success. So that's how the brain generate emotion. When we see any kind of threat that we put meaning behind it, the brain creates that fear, either to fight or flight. And due to that emotion, we make a lot of irrational decision, and we close the trade early enough to overcome from that fear. Then how you can convince your brain not to generate that fear? The only way one can do is by detaching from your trade. Now how can you detach? Well, to do that, I'll discuss a concept applied by Stoics. Now Stoics are the most resilient human being on earth. One of the famous Stoic philosopher called Marcus Aurelius, he was a Roman emperor. He used to apply a technique called negative visualization. So because he was an emperor, every day he has to meet many peoples from different region, and he has to go through a lot of difficulties because of that peoples. Now what he used to do is, when he wake up in the morning, he used to visualize and write down in his note the worst case scenario possible. He was an emperor, no one ever did anything to him, but he used to visualize that someone is yelling at him, someone is coming to him complaining, all kinds of worst case scenario, so that his brain is prepared to handle any kind of difficulties coming on his way. And over time, in fact, he is making his brain resilient to any kind of difficulties. So then how you can apply this knowledge in your trading? Now look, I even myself, and I have seen many institutional traders apply this technique, is to do negative visualization. Well, the best way to apply, when you go to bed, before you go to sleep, imagine that the worst case scenario. For example, whatever trading account you have, imagine that you open a trade and say to in your mind that the account has wiped out. Now how does this help? In fact, the way it helps, before you go to bed, when you consider the worst case scenario, then either it is a real or in your imagination. The brain cannot understand the difference between real and imagination. Whatever you visualize, the middle brain will start to generate that kind of fear. That what happens when you really see a trade that is going in drawdown. Now if you do that before you go to bed, whole night your brain will process that information, and over time, if you do it, let's say 20 to 30 days, what will happen is that your brain will start to become resilient. Now in fact, a pro trader, how a trader become professional? By experiencing a lot of losses and difficulties over time. And over time, you can detach yourself from those kinds of emotion. Because when you do that every day before you go to bed, when in practical you're opening a trade, your brain will not consider slowly as a threat, because it knows that even you have blown out every day in your before you go to bed multiple times, you are okay with it. So you are making your brain in fact resilient against any kind of stimulation that coming. And over time you will see that you can detach yourself from your trading, and over time you will see that you are not feeling that kind of resistance when you are opening a trade, no matter what, you are going in profit or you are going in loss. So once you detach yourself from your trading, you can stick to the plan, you can stick to the game, and over time you become a consistently profitable trader. I sincerely believe that this important video was helpful to you. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon in my next video.